everybody, welcome to Yarn of a Kind. My name is Alicia and today I'm going to try and crochet a bow within an hour. So this is a crochet challenge that I've been thinking about for a while, and I have exactly an hour before I have to leave the house to get to work. So there is literally no time to waste. Let's get started. Ooh. I thought this would be a fun crochet challenge to do, and I just kind of wanted to see how much I could crochet, but I think the performance element of this is getting to me and I'm a little nervous. My hands are shaking, I don't know why. But we're going to do 6 single crochet in the magic ring and we'll take it from there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to take a deep breath and come down. I never liked this part of the magic ring where I'm supposed to like tighten the ring. I read a tip somewhere that you're supposed to keep your stitches relatively loose so that the yarn doesn't shed too much when you tighten the magic ring, but I'm gonna be really gentle here. Wait, which end am I supposed to be pulling? Nope, not that end. We're gonna start again, and this time I'm just gonna make the magic ring smaller from the start. Wait, what's going on? Okay, we have our magic ring and we're just going to tighten it from the start. It's a much smaller loop and I've lost the plot. Okay, let's start again. Okay, so I have the magic ring again for the 3rd time. That's a pretty small magic ring, and we're gonna hope that it can accommodate all 6 of my single crochet stitches. Ah! The yarn's shedding. Okay, maybe this is too much stress for a beginner crocheter. What is this? 4th time's the charm? If you are a beginner and you're not used to using chenille yarn, we are in the same boat. I think chenille yarn is just really forgiving in terms of hiding your mistakes, but it's also really hard to work with. And if you watch my capybara video, that is when I used chenille yarn for the very first time, and it was so tricky. But I discovered in that video that starting is always the hardest part and it will get easier. So I'm hoping that's the case with this. And I've already spent 9 minutes just trying to get this magic ring correct. But we are there, we are ready to do the next round. I can't tell where my stitch is supposed to go. Okay guys, this might not be possible after all. But let's keep trying. At this point, I'm seriously doubting that I can finish this in an hour. I'm a beginner crocheter and... I'm a beginner amigurumi crocheter and I'm very new to chenille yarn. And it takes me hours to finish my amigurumi. My capybara took me about 6 hours. And my hedgehog, I don't even know, it took me a couple of days to finish that. So I just marvel at people who can crochet and churn out things within half an hour. You know, I watch a lot of other crocheters and they're so fast and I don't know how. But I think everyone crochets at their own pace and it's okay to take your time. Like right now, I'm giving myself too much stress already. But it's a fun crochet challenge and I'm just eager to see the result too. Like putting myself to the test. But it's all in the name of fun and I'm not going to be like disappointed with myself or anything if I can't make this in an hour. "15 minutes have passed and I am 2 rounds in, which is not a great sign, but let's keep going. This pattern is by Mary Makes, and I found her because she actually posted a 1-minute crochet pattern of this, and then she also posted a full tutorial on her YouTube. So I'll of course link it in the description box, and you can go and check out the pattern and the tutorial if you want to make a bao as well. Alright, third round, let's go. So I wanted to crochet a bao because it's Chinese New Year back home in Malaysia, and I thought it would fit the season. Although we do have bao all year round. All kinds of bao. And all kinds of dim sum. And talking about this is really making me miss Malaysian food. Alright, fourth round is 2 single stitches and 1 increase. See, it's getting easier already. I think it's more politically correct now to say Lunar New Year, but growing up in Malaysia, the Chinese were one of the ethnic groups, and we've just always called it Chinese New Year. And it's the time of the year when everyone goes back to their hometowns and they have reunion dinners with their grandparents, all the uncles and aunties and cousins and parents and siblings, and it's just an amazing time when there's lots of fun, there's food, and everyone just makes a lot of noise together. There's sometimes fireworks. Oh, last year the fireworks was so loud and it went into the early hours of the morning. It was actually a bit annoying, but when we were kids it was really fun. So today is actually Chinese New Year Eve, and all our relatives back home are gathering for like a huge feast, and it's such a shame that we can't be home to celebrate with them. They usually have a big reunion dinner, and then the next few days are spent visiting relatives and collecting ang pao. Now that I'm married, I don't get to collect ang pao anymore, and I have to give them out instead, which is a new experience, and it's nice that we get to bless other people. In every house, there's always like an auntie or a mom or a grandma who's like an amazing cook, and they'll just like spend days making food for everybody. It's an amazing time. Oh, and in Malaysia, we have this thing called isang, which is I think a uniquely Malaysian tradition. It's made of like shredded carrots and pomelo and all kinds of colorful ingredients, and it will be in a dish, or in my family we cling wrap the entire table and we put the yisang on the table. So everyone will be standing around a table. Of course it's a round table, and we'll be ready with our chopsticks, and when somebody gives the signal, we kind of toss all the ingredients into the air as high as it can go, and we say words of blessing, and that's how we kind of welcome the new year in. And that's probably like the closest thing that you'll ever get to an adult food fight. Okay, we're closing in on the half an hour mark. So this is what I've gotten done in about half an hour. It's not a lot, but that's okay. There's a Chinese poem, or part of a poem, that goes 独在异乡为异客，每逢佳节倍思亲, which means that if you're away and far from home in a foreign land and you're alone, when the festive seasons come, it just increases your longing and your sense of missing your family. And I think that's how I kind of feel in this season, that all our family members are back home together and just celebrating and feasting together, and it just makes us miss home a lot. This year is the year of the dragon, which is a really auspicious year in the Chinese zodiac calendar. And there's probably going to be a baby boom because everyone wants to give birth to a dragon baby. So I grew up in a Christian household, and I think it was confusing for some of my friends because they didn't know whether I celebrated Chinese New Year. Like, is it considered like a race thing, or is it considered like a religion thing? What do Christians celebrate in terms of the Chinese New Year? And so it became like a whole thing to explain like the things that we do. So we do follow traditions that belong to the Chinese culture, such as celebrating the reunion dinner. That's a huge thing. Collecting and giving out ang paos. That's something that we do. There's no religious connotation to that. We also visit our relatives. It's just a great time of the year to get to see everybody because we don't often come together. And yeah, I think those are some of the things that we do. But some of the religious things that we don't do are like maybe ancestral worship. Some people will have food and incense offered to their ancestors, or like the plaques of their ancestors. So we don't do ancestral worship of any kind because ultimately our ancestors were just human beings who have passed away, and we only pray to God because He is a jealous God and He doesn't want us to be worshipping other people or other gods or even idols in our lives. Yeah, so I guess that's the thing that we don't do for Chinese New Year. There are a lot of Chinese New Year wishes that have to do with like 恭喜发财. You know that 发财 is like wishing people wealth and prosperity, and I guess we just don't emphasize too much on gaining earthly riches. So 35 minutes have passed and I think I'm making decent progress, but I definitely am not going to be finishing this bao in an hour because I'm only halfway through. There are 17 rows and I am at row 7. Because I've been talking, I don't really know whether my stitch count is correct. So at some point, I'm going to have to pause and do a check. 20 minutes to go. You know, I wonder if this crochet for an hour challenge came about because people's camera batteries couldn't last too long. It is now 45 minutes into this endeavor and I have lots and lots to go. I am on round 9 now, I think. This has been a bit of a rush job because of the time crunch, but I'm still quite happy with the neatness of my stitches. My mind is already starting to drift to work and all the things that I have to do today. Oh, so one more thing about Chinese New Year is that people usually buy new clothes and they also clean the house before Chinese New Year comes. The superstition goes that if you clean your house on Chinese New Year Day, you're going to sweep out the luck, the New Year luck that has just entered your home. And that's not really something that my family has ever believed. We just continue our lives as normal. If we need to clean, we clean the house. Ten more minutes to go. I'm almost glad that the hour is coming to an end because my arms have been suspended in the air for 50 minutes. So my camera battery died and I had to go and get my other battery. I'm not actually keeping a timer, I'm just looking at the clock. So I'm just going to give myself an extra minute to make up for the time that I had to replace the battery. By the way, I'm using the Flutterbee Chunky Chenille yarn and it's great. It's not shedding at all. There's nothing shedded. And it's so nice to work with. And I just love it. I really like it and I'm glad that I bought a few different colors of this and I have a few projects in mind that I'm gonna be making. So stay tuned. Do subscribe if you haven't yet. I have so many ideas for videos in my head. So it's gonna be a really exciting journey throughout this year and I'm excited to see how many amigurumi I can make. 5 more minutes to go. So this is going to be the last round of the single crochets and then I think we're going to be doing some decreases, but I don't think I'm going to get to that point in the next 5 minutes. So conclusion is that I could not crochet this bow in an hour. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna be happening. But even if I don't finish this in an hour, I will finish it because I want to try adding blush to an amigurumi for the first time, and I think this bow is the perfect guy to have some blush. Last few stitches in this round, and then I think I'm going to count to make sure that I have the right number of stitches, and if I don't, I'm not gonna frog the whole thing. No, that's not happening either. Okay, last single crochet, and I think we are freshly out of time. And let's see, there's supposed to be 36 stitches in this round. Let's just check. Moment of truth-ish. Wait, is that 36 or 37? Again, let's count again. It's 36! Praise the Lord! This is how much I was able to do in an hour, and the verdict is that I couldn't crochet the whole bow in an hour. But you know what, guys? It's completely fine. I'm gonna finish this at a later time. I'm happy that I got this far. And to all of my fellow beginners in the amigurumi world who are looking at other people who can churn out plushies like nobody's business, don't stress. Don't compare yourself to other people because everyone's working at their own pace. If you're a beginner, you're just getting started, and who knows where you're gonna be in a month, in a year. Just be satisfied with what you can do. Keep taking steps to improve, and you're gonna get wherever you want to go one day if you work hard at it and if you practice all those kind of good things. It's now the next day. I came back from work yesterday and found about half an hour to finish off the bow, and here it is. So completing this took me an hour and a half, and I am not done yet. I still have to add blush and maybe a smile to its face. And I have this pink color yarn from Flutterbee which I'm going to be using to crochet the blush on. I hope it's the right color. I'm not entirely sure where to sew on the blush. I think it's just gonna be diagonally below the eyes a little bit, so just gonna have a go at it. I've seen that some people use actual makeup blush to add the blush to their amigurumi. I don't know what my feelings are about that. This pink color is not showing up super well. I wonder if the blush needs to be wider, or should I sew a few more times? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's not really showing up, like you can't really tell. But maybe it is supposed to be subtle. I'm just gonna go with it. This pink color yarn is shedding quite a bit, but I wonder if that's because sewing is involved at this stage and it just lends itself more naturally to shedding, because I hadn't had any issues with the yarn shedding when I was just crocheting. I wonder what other people's experience with Flutterbee yarn is, because I don't hear Flutterbee getting a lot of love, and I just wonder why. He has on a little bit of blush, and now I'm gonna add the smile to it. Or should I just leave it without the smile? It looks really cute already. I think I'll just leave it without the smile actually. The last thing that I'm doing at the moment is sewing the bottom closed, because I did a really poor job of it in my 1 hour crochet challenge, and I just want the bottom to be properly closed up. After a bit of struggling with weaving in the ends, he is done. My super cute little bow. I adore him. So to all of you who are celebrating Lunar New Year, have a wonderful celebration with your family, with your friends. Sing them Kwaila, and I hope you have a good year ahead. And to those of you who are watching my videos, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!